There you go.
So we are live. So welcome to today's version of Ask Karen. This is where I interview my members. They get a chance to share with the audience a little bit about who they are, what they do, a little bit about their story. And then obviously the final part is asking a question relating to how to build your business online, whether that's getting clients, the sales process, the social media strategy, whatever. So today's member is Chloe. She is living in my old hometown. So Chloe, if you could share with the audience a little bit about who you are, what you do, and why you do it.
Amazing. Oh, hi Karen. Thank you so much. Yes, I'm Chloe. I'm a busy mum. I've got two boys who are quite full on, I would say, and that's kind of why I ended up going into business for myself. Something to keep the brain matter whirring and give me a little bit of escapism from being a full-time mum, because I'd had to give up my career to have my children. There was no part-time or work from home opportunity back then, so found myself giving everything up to be a mum, and then 4 years in thinking, what can I do? I need something for me. And I was always interested in health and well-being, and was looking at things that I could do around the kids that fitted around the holidays. And I'd had incredible results with whole food concentrates, putting fruits and vegetables into my body with my 20-year battle with acne, and other health niggles as well. But the battle was from 12 to 32 years old, and it was awful, really aggressive, and left me in hospital sometimes. So I'd been introduced to the capsules from my health practitioner. And after a couple of years, he sort of said, why don't we, join up, and why don't you share this with more people? So that's where the B plan came from. And it started, September 15.
Wow. Okay. So, I mean, in so many cases, so many people end up doing this because they have overcome some kind of challenge. And then for a lot of people, it would be the natural next step to want to go out there and share, to try and stop it happening, the challenges happening with other people. So, and I get it, that this is why so many women are doing this kind of thing, because again, having that balance, and not that I have boys, I have two girls, but having that balance of just being, and not just, that sounded awful, because being a mum is a full-time job in itself. However, I can totally relate to, yes, but it's nice to have that little bit of away time suddenly.
And to still create your identity as well, because you're more than just a mum. And I felt like I'd sort of given up so much. I used to travel the world and do all these things within my career and my job, and then to be home with the children, I mean, such a blessing. But I don't think the grass is greener. And to be able to create your own business, you learn so many new skills, you meet so many incredible people, like how we've connected and things. It opens up this whole other world outside of the school gates. And I think that's really, gives me goosebumps actually just saying it, because it's a real passion of mine. And then being able to help people, giving back something that you feel passionate about, and health and nutrition, we all know, is something people need more of these days. And, it's hard to do. It's hard to do. Yeah.
100%, because unfortunately we've sort of been brought up in an era where we have all given, or not all of us, but some have given unknowingly. And I'm not, I'm not putting any blame here or anything. We've done it because we have been sort of conditioned to do this, to give our power away. So it's almost like this, we just keep doing what we're doing. And then if we get a niggle or a pain or something, then we go to somebody who has so much power in a white coat to say, you have this, take this. And it does seem a shame that we do seem to, in general, have become disconnected from even our inner knowing. We all probably know really what we should be doing and what we shouldn't be doing in general, and that's not always across the board. But it does seem to be that we've distanced ourselves from really understanding how our own bodies work, or even trusting our own intuition. When something does come up, we just switch it off and take a paracetamol and keep going, because we've got to get back on that hamster wheel, right?
Well, I love to help women especially as well, because I think women are natural caregivers, and we tend to, they always say put your oxygen mask on first, but we don't. We tend to put our children's need first, our partners, our parents, our family and friends, the home, and then we tend to sort of fall into bed at the end of every day and get up like groundhog the next day and do it again. And I always say you can't serve from an empty cup, but we often do. And so I think I love to help women, especially, and a lot of women actually in business for themselves as well, because we live in such a fast-paced world, and that itself is quite toxic for the body. And we all know what we're meant to be doing. But actually, the reason I got involved was, when I found out actually it's not 5 portions a day that the UK say, it's actually more, it's 10 that we need to be doing and stuff like that. It was like, oh my God, they're not even saying that in the press or on the news, and people are trying to do their best, but life is so fast-paced and we wear all the hats. And if you're running your own business, you're also dealing with the social media bombardment, which can be very stressful as well. And then you're trying to deal with sales, and you're trying to deal with clients, and and on top of that, you might be raising a family, or you might be doing your full-time job on top of your part-time business. So I think actually it's so hard to be well now with the amount of nutrition that we're now needed, the amount of toxicity that we're exposed to, the daily stress and the fast-paced life. So at the B Plan and what we do, it's all like health hacks, super simple health hacks that work. Because something else you were saying about we all know what to do, I actually think the world's really noisy. I think there's, try this, try that. Same with our own businesses. You need a coach to help you focus on how are you going to get results? What's going to get you the most effective results the quickest? And I think the world's very noisy and very saturated, and that's a huge stress as well. Whether you're in business or you're just trying to be healthy, is a lot.
Yeah, sure. Well, there's never going to be one size fits all. There is never going to, because we are human, because we are all so different. So what works for one person may not work for other. But one thing you said there that I think is really the important thing is the stress, because then it doesn't matter what nutrition you're getting. If there's cortisol running around your body, we're not being chased by a saber-toothed tiger, but everything's just gone to the extremities to get ready to fight, flight, or freeze. So your digestive system isn't working as well. You're not going to be absorbing nutrients. And that is, we have been told for quite a while that stress is a very damaging, but I don't think people really understand the real importance of it and how it can totally then wipe out all the good things that you think you're doing. So really what you're offering women is not just the right nutrients in. It's not just they're getting toxins. So I think what you're offering is a very holistic approach, which everybody absolutely needs, because it's not just that one thing. So I think that is absolutely massive for everybody to know. So those out there, wherever they're listening, how would they get in touch with you? What's your website, or how would they?
Well, hopefully they can see my name on here. So it's the B Plan with a BE. They can go on the website, thebplan.info. And I've got a link tree as well, which is just my name, Chloe Myers, on Linktree. So yeah, anything like that. I don't know if you share my email or whatever, but yeah, the website, they can get in touch with me from there.
Fantastic. So you're obviously on, you're on a mission. You're in sync with what you want to do, which I think is just so important, because it's so fulfilling then as well. So for the rest of them out there, the other coaches and consultants that are out there trying to what your business, what question do you have? Do you think that's quite important for people to help them in their business?
So my question would be, because I'm very lucky that the business is quite global and we've got a lot of clients and things like that. This whole thing of community, because everybody wants to feel connected now, especially after COVID and stuff. And years ago, Facebook groups was the way to do it. And I feel a little bit lost or a little bit unsure as to how best to build a community. We've got about 800 people in the community. We've got a lot of value to give, a lot of tips and recipes and inspiration and ideas and things like that. But maybe 2 or 3 people like it. They're not all seeing it, because I think Facebook groups is getting harder to be seen and be visible. Is it going back old school to emails and trying to collect email addresses?
Well, I would always say collect emails, because, and especially in the kind of arena that you're in, you have no idea, you have no control over the social media platforms. Facebook tomorrow could say, okay, we're not going down that route anymore. And they could shut you off. You've lost all your leads, lost all your clients overnight. So it doesn't matter where you're growing. Social media is a platform. That is it. Facebook is a platform. It's just one of the many methods that are out there. So I would always say, wherever you can, whether it's on LinkedIn, on Insta, you always want to try and bring them away and have a community that is outside of the social media, purely because you do not have control. The only thing you have control of is your own list, your own website. Social media is a fantastic tool to keep together. I mean, I don't know whether you're aware of this new everyone in the groups. I know it's annoying some people. However, what I see it as, I think it's a great tool to weed people out, because it's not about quantity. People think, oh, I've got to have 5,000, 10,000. No, they're not all going to be interested really in what you do. So I would say weed out the people that aren't interested. Then the people that want to hear what you're putting out there are gonna hear it. I mean, the @everyone is a handy tool, only to be used once a day. But at least then, if people really want to hear or see the information that you're giving them, then they are going to see it. And those that are maybe hanging out for freebies or hanging out to actually poach your clients, it's only them that are going to get upset because you've tagged everyone in. That's the way I see it. So rather, okay, then if this isn't for you, then, you know, I want space for the people that need the information that I'm going to give them. So yes, it's very difficult because we're all being bombarded, and do you do TikTok, YouTube, this, that? It is omnipresence. I mean, if you're using attraction marketing methods, there's only two ways really to build your business, to get leads, to get customers. You either spend your money in ads, or spend your money on a top copywriter to write your great sales page, great VSL, video sales letter, or the free option is attraction marketing methods. However, it takes time. And I think that is that people think they've just got to post once and everybody's going to come run by. You've got to be showing up daily. You've got to be consistent with your efforts, and it needs to be everywhere, because if you think everyone's seen your post, no, they haven't. Whereas if you put it everywhere, they might have missed it on Facebook, might get it on Instagram, or get it on LinkedIn, or get it on YouTube. So our method, and again, look, I'm not saying my way is the only way, right? There are many ways. But what we do is blast it absolutely everywhere. Because if people don't catch it somewhere, they've got more chance. It doesn't mean it has to be necessarily a load more work, because it could be exactly the same content. It's just, so yes, you've got to find some way of getting above the noise, because yes, it is almost like a fight for attention.
Okay. No, that's really good points. I've taken some notes. I love writing notes. But yeah.
And stories, because stories, people have to press your link. And that's a good way of gauging, because just because people aren't engaging, because quite often the trouble is when you're giving out so much information regarding nutrition, some people, you know, we can get excited about it, but the average Joe, they don't care. All they care about is what's in it for them, the benefit for them. So we can get excited and write a real long educational post. Crickets. It doesn't mean they're not interested in it. It doesn't mean they're not watching, right? Just because they haven't liked or commented, they'll like a video about some cats playing, or they'll like an inspirational quote because it's easy. Whereas with a story, they've got to press your circle at the top. So that's an action. So that will give you far better a sort of viewpoint of who is actually, you know, wanting to listen and who is not. Some people don't want everybody to know that they're interested in that, and especially when it's around health. I don't know why, but it does seem to be a common thing. So yeah, don't think people aren't watching, because they are. Okay. Yeah. So just keep on. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, really good. Thank you. 3 really good things to get on and think about.
Awesome. And it's just, it is for people to realize that your social media strategy is only a fraction of your process. If you haven't got the other processes in place, if you think that just posting and waiting for somebody to come and buy something, it's not going to happen. There has to be other things in place to move them on the sales journey to get them to buy your product. So yes, it's an important part, but it's not the be all. And it's not, oh, nobody's liked or commented. Trust me, they might all have seen and might all want to buy. So have all the other processes in place and you're good to go. So thank you.
Thank you.
Lovely to speak to you again. Tunbridge Wells, that's where my hometown, although I haven't been down there for ages. I must get down there.
I said, when you do come down, you have to let me know. And
I will. Coffee. We've got to go for coffee. You'll probably say decaf.
You can have.
Awesome. So thank you for your time, the rest of the listeners. I will be back